Hi, Aidan. It's so nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Elijah.
Beautiful, and thank you too for honoring the invite. It means a whole lot. Okay, Aidan, I am so excited to have you on the show for some reasons, all right? Firstly, it's because I believe that knowledge is the solution to world's problem. And secondly, I strictly believe that there are some things that Aidan knows that some of my audience needs to hear you say this stuff, directly from your mouth in order to experience transformation. I firmly believe that. And thirdly, even I myself, I believe that I am definitely gonna learn one or two things from your story, your insight, your experiences. So for that reason, Aiden, I want us to get started with your introduction, your journey, how the journey has been so far, the challenges that you faced, and how you overcame them. And afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Aiden, let's get started. Over to you.
Sure, sure. Well, thanks for having me. Yeah, my story started out in New Zealand, where I grew up in a poor family by New Zealand standards, and had a bit of tumultuous, crazy childhood. And as a result, I ran away from home just before my 16th birthday, and ended up getting into a bit of trouble, and ended up finding myself in the Philippines as an illegal alien, which is a third world country as well. And I was stranded there with no money and no way out. And a Filipino family took me in and sort of saved my life. And yeah, I guess one day I said to my Filipino dad, I asked him how I could repay him for saving my life, and he told me that when I was in a position to pay their kindness and love forward to somebody, to consider the debt repaid. And so I made a promise to myself at that moment that I would find a way to pay it forward to as many people as possible, um, so that I could show them while they're still alive that their act of kindness or love, how much it meant to me. I want them to be able to see that that seed of love that they planted grew and was able to help a lot of people. Yeah, it was really important to me. So
Beautiful,
that's been
beautiful.
the main source of inspiration for the project
Mm,
that I'm working on now.
what you're
Yeah.
working on now. Beautiful, amazing. Okay, you mentioned love, a very important word. Um, so we get started with the questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you mentioned love earlier. Do you think love could be the currency of the future?
I 100% do, and that is exactly the vision that I'm driven by every day. Is figuring out a way. Well, actually, I think we've figured out the way, but putting it into practice, a way where we can turn love into a practical, useful currency that can be transacted all over the world, and is really a vehicle to help lift people who are living in poverty out of poverty as well. So yeah, I'm very passionate about this.
Beautiful, beautiful, Hayden. Because, I'm so excited to get to meet someone who also have that belief that love is very important and it can get rid of poverty. Because, love is so important, Aiden, that I believe if we are all getting to practice love, there will be a decrease in crime rate, terrorism, corruption, all of these bad events. Because when you get to love other people just the way you love yourself, you wouldn't want to harm them. So that's a great vision you have, and I wish you nothing but the best. Okay, so we still have some questions left. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So let us talk about meditation. Can do you think meditation can put an end to poverty? Do you think so? Can you talk to us about it?
Well, in our model, what we do is like, firstly, let me start by saying I don't know if you're familiar with a lot of the research out there now in the latest science, but they are proving now that love and meditative states can heal the body of countless diseases. They're having one of the top scientists in the field now has just had a study come out where they've had a 93% cure rate of PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, 93% cure rate from doing remote healing, so sending love to these people, and it's curing something that that medicine has really struggled to fix. So there's examples also of love uh, and meditation being sent to plants and trees, making the plants grow faster and healthier. It changes the structure of water. So there's amazing things that we're discovering about love right now. So what we're doing is we are going in, we saw an opportunity here for the businesses of the future to have love programmed into our food, our products, whatever it is that we consume. It makes sense to me that we should have love in it. And so what we do is we go into the world's poorest communities. We teach them to meditate and send love using our technology platform that we have developed. And these people earn a living by sending love to businesses, products, and people around the world who have a little extra money, but maybe don't have the love. So every time a person in these communities, we call them our love farms, as soon when they send a love meditation to these companies or people, it's all tracked through our app. So the recipient can see all the love coming to them. But the person in the community gets a digital currency through the app, and they can use their phone to transact for food, for clean water, for medical, to put their kids to school. So essentially, what we're doing is we're turning love and someone's heart energy into a practical currency. And the vision is to prove to businesses and to people around the world that if you put love into what you do, you can be more successful, be more profitable, which will encourage more businesses to join our project, and in turn lift more people out of poverty as we set up more and more love farms all over the world, which are little hubs that we basically export love to wherever it's needed.
Amazing, Aidan. That's amazing. I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, still on businesses, alright. What will businesses in the future need to have to succeed? I want you to dive deep on this.
Well, I believe that we're told so many lies, and the marketing machine is you don't know what you can trust anymore. And I believe that if you look at how many companies say that they love their customers, say that they put love into their product, and you just never really know. I believe that in the future, uh, you know, as we start to understand more and more about how important this energy is to have in all aspects of our lives, people will demand products that have love in it. I mean, if you've got the choice of two identical products, uh, one of them is just as it has always been, and the other has got literally thousands, if not millions, of meditations of love programmed into it for the consumer to, like to take the product with all that love in it. I believe that's got to be the future. I think that's the next big step for us in terms of businesses. And so what we do is we're providing a third party, verified, trackable way for companies to infuse that love in a way that their customers can experience for themselves. And the customers can also read about the love farms, see the stories of lives that are being transformed by these families that are lifted out of poverty by learning to meditate and send love. So I think in the future that's going to be the differentiator. That's going to be a major thing that people that businesses will be able to do if they have the means to do it, which is what we're providing. That will really give them an unfair advantage if they want to plug into that system, and it allows them to give back and do their bit, which I think is the responsibility of every business on the planet. Should be looking at how we can how we can make the world at large better for
Yeah.
future generations.
Hmm. True. True. That's very correct. Okay, Aiden, you mentioned model. So why is the old model of given and charities broken? Can you talk to us about it?
Yeah, I think there's so many reasons it's broken. One is that it very rarely addresses the cause or the root problem of the poverty. And often a donation or a charity just is like a band-aid. It's like if someone's hungry, you give them food, but it's not really giving them the ability to learn how to farm their own food or learn how to create their own, future. They're always relying on someone else's kindness, which is great when it's there, but it's not sustainable and it's not scalable. Um, so I think we need a solution that can grow exponentially faster than the problem if we're ever going to solve it. Um, and I think the other thing that doesn't work is that, in my experience, in places where you go to communities in extreme poverty, and I know you guys have a lot there. I'm really looking forward to getting to West Africa and getting something as part of our project set up there, because I really think we can help a lot. But one of the other things that happens in my experience is that often the people in these really poor communities have very low self-esteem or belief that they can, that they're born into this poverty, they feel helpless, they don't know how to empower themselves to get out of this, and it's a really hard situation. Um, but I think that are you familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs? The where at the base level of the triangle is your need for security and safety, so putting a roof over your head, putting food on the table for your family. The idea is that as you go further up the pyramid, you get more towards self-actualization, so meditation and spiritual side. But if you're not able to take care, or you're constantly worried about providing for your family and the basic needs, which everyone living in these impoverished communities are, they can never really spend more time on the other levels, because all their energy is expended focusing on providing for their family. So what we're doing with this is we turn that pyramid upside down, and by teaching them meditation and love, which is good for them as well, they're actually earning much more than they could earn in a typical job. So they can provide for their family while they're getting the spiritual sort of growth and all the goodness that comes with meditation and plugging into that sort of love network. So I think that we need a solution like this. We need a solution
Yeah,
where, because these places where they don't have an education, often they're poorest of the poor. The one thing they all know how to do is they all have big hearts, from what I've seen, and they love their family and they want
yeah,
to provide for their kids. They want their community to be safe. And what we're doing is we're identifying that valuable thing that they have in their hearts, and we're showing them that it can be utilized in a way that can help them provide for their families. And one final point on that is that they also, we're able to share with the people, we call them our love farmers. We are able to share with them amazing stories of people that are being healed,
yeah,
businesses that are growing, who are experiencing success because of that love. So
yeah,
now what we're able to do is not only allow provide them to provide a good living for their families and communities, but we can also show them that they're changing the world, which is very powerful. And I believe that that is the kind of solution we need to break the poverty cycle permanently. Once people realize the power they have and how they can affect a business or a person's life on the other side of the world, I think that's when they'll start to really change their world from the inside out.
man. You know, I am grateful, for the amazing people that saved you. Was it, you said Philippine? Was it Philippine or where?
Philippines, yeah,
Philippines.
yeah, yeah.
You know, thank God they saved you because the vision that you have in your heart and the message that they pass across to you, how can you repay this? And you say when you get a chance to, show kindness to someone else, thank God because your vision is amazing. That's a great idea. Okay, now how has the journey been so far? What are the challenges that you've been facing? And, can you talk to us about how the process is for the sake of
Yeah,
those
so
ones who might be interested and all of that?
yeah, so it's been full of challenges, but I think it's often how you get stronger, right? Which I know a lot of people in your part of the world understand. It can be they have to the hardship that I endured is probably a fraction of what so many people in your own country and part of the world have to deal with. Um, I guess I've had a lot of challenges. Personally, about 3 or 4 years ago, I had an accident where I fell from the third story of the roof, and I actually crossed over to the other side. So I had a full near-death experience, and um, I got the option of whether or not I wanted to come back, and I was shown that this project is what my purpose is in life. So that was a really challenging experience. I had to get flown back to New Zealand where I was looked after by my mother, and I hadn't stayed with her for 20 years. Um, but it allowed me to experience that mother's love again and rediscover who I was and heal that relationship. And I believe that that was one of the biggest blessings of my life. Now is one of the most challenging things. But um, I guess from there on, the biggest challenge I've had with this is that it's such a it's really a very visionary project. It's completely out of the realms of how the model currently works. If you look at the science, it's really based there's a lot of scientific evidence, for it to work, but it's been very hard to as I've built the project to get people to understand what I'm doing. But right now we're at a stage where we're starting to, we've got the website, we've got the project set up, we've got our first love farms ready to go in the Philippines. So it's starting to materialize now to a point where people can see what the vision is. So yeah, the challenge at the moment is just getting enough supporters around the world who love what we're doing, who want to join our experiment and be the first humans in history to receive a constant stream of love every minute of every day uh, for an entire year and beyond. And that's how we fund the nonprofit. We get people into the experiment. They receive love streamed to their lives every minute of every day. Every single meditation is tracked through our phone. So the participants can see the love as it's coming in real time, and they can read about where the love's coming from, the villages, how it's changed their lives. So it's kind of a really cool thing to check it every day and just see all the love flowing to you. But yeah, that's been the major challenge, is just getting people who have the courage and the belief to to be a part of this and to allow us to get that energy to move the project forward, because
Um,
that's what we need to show the world how this can
yeah.
work. Once we can show these communities working and fully functioning and changing their lives by literally turning love into a currency, then I believe we'll inspire thousands and thousands of businesses and hundreds of thousands of people all around the world to join our project and start receiving love. And at the same time, they're giving love to support those that are sending the love to them and these poor communities. So it's a beautiful full circle where everyone gets what they need, which is more love.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. It's a great vision, and I deeply believe in it, and it will grow and become even greater than what you think. I believe so, because love is so powerful that if one embraces love, it changes a whole lot of things, a whole lot.
Hmm.
So thank you for eating to the call, your purpose. Amazing, Aiden.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it.
Thank you, brother. When your purpose calls you and it has such a powerful, I guess the responsibility is really big. When a purpose like this calls you, you have no
Mm,
choice but to follow it with all your heart,
yeah,
because it feels like it's why God put me here.
yeah,
Like
yeah, right,
there's no
right,
question in my mind.
right.
So you just got to keep pushing forward. And yeah,
Exactly,
thank you for your
exactly.
for your belief, and I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear it resonates with
Oh
you all the way
man.
on the other side of the world.
It
That's
does,
great.
it does, it does. Okay, Aiden, to bring this to an end, what would you like to leave the audience with? Like a final thought. And to those ones who would like to reach out to you, learn more about this beautiful vision, how can that be possible?
Well, I guess firstly, like we would love the support, like our like our social media. We only launched this week, so we're really in the very early stages, and I love the idea of having people who this project resonates with in Africa starting to like it and follow what we're doing, because I hope that, well, I'm sure that by next year we will look to set up there in Africa. And if anyone's listening who knows a community somewhere that's struggling, that might like the opportunity to become a love farm, I would love to hear from them. We're building a list of potential love farms all over the world. So yeah, please reach out. And then the other thing is, we're looking in our first experiment, which we have two love farms in the Philippines that will be sending love. There's over 2,000 people who will be lifted out of poverty. We have a space for 2,000 individuals all over the world who want to be the first humans in history to receive love, right? So they'll join our experiment. And yeah, if anyone's interested in joining the experiment, they pay a monthly contribution and it goes to the love farmers, and then they get all the love. And through the course of the year, we keep in touch with everybody and we see like who experiences miracles, like anyone. We share the stories with the world and with our social media, and start to inspire people around the world, with real evidence on why they should join the experiment and start to stream love as well. So if anyone's interested in that, our website is the world's greatest experiment.com, and social media is just at the world's greatest experiment. And yeah, my name is Aidan. I'd be totally happy to hear from anyone that would like to support or add value or any ideas. We're very in the beginning, so any media, any contacts, any way we can get this message out and get people to know about this in your part of the world would be phenomenal, because Africa is a massively important part in my
Yeah,
heart. I feel very connected there. I've got good friends there, and I can't wait to bring this project there and start to spread more love from that part of the world.
beautiful, beautiful. That's good. Okay, any final thought what you would like to leave the audience with?
Just be open to love, and do a little research and start to read and start to research some of the science that's coming out. People like Dr. Joe Dispenza is doing some incredible work, and he's literally proving scientifically the power of all this stuff. People are walking out of a 7-day event with him completely healed of cancers, and I think there's over 80 diseases that have disappeared after going through his program, which is all about meditating and love, right? So yeah, just be open to it, because it's coming. It will come to your part of the world, and when it gets here, we need support of people who have open hearts, who have the faith that this is the answer, because really this is something that can shift the needle and help people all over the world really, really quickly, which is what we need right now. The world needs more love
Yeah, more love.
right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so true. Okay, Aiden, thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing your insight and this beautiful vision. Thank you so very much, man. So that's gonna be the end of the show. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.